football game. That's you taking another sip of your Do the Do.
This is the legendary WHIO, the king of sports in Ohio. We've got the biggest sports teams and leagues on both radio and TV. This year, we're proud to be the home of NFL with Cincinnati Bengals football on Channel 7. The Southwest Ohio home of the Cleveland Browns on WHIO Radio. The biggest Big Ten games during the season every Saturday, including Ohio State football. The CBS NFL Game of the Week. The home of University of Dayton basketball and football. The Touchdown 7 high school football games of the week. The Dayton home of March Madness, the Masters, and PGA Championship. When it comes to the absolute biggest sports brands, WHIO Radio and Television is the king of Dayton sports. WHIO, Dayton's news, talk, and sports station. This is a Consumer Warrior Clark Howard Minute.
So there's something that I've done that I should have done a long time ago. And if you're not doing it, I want you to. Because I missed an email from a good friend that was important. There's something going on in his life. And it's because I get a zillion emails from companies, marketing companies that I've signed up with for services, whatever. You should have segregated a separate email address for non-personal things, business things, commercial things, retail things, so that the things that really matter, which are not things, it's people in your life, they come in your key personal email. Everything else is shut it away.
Clark is WHIO's Consumer Warrior, and you can hear him during Miami Valley's Morning News on WHIO. What is the WHIO Storm Center? It means when you hear these tones, you are just a few minutes away from emergency weather information. Weather is our #1 priority. The Storm Center 7 forecast is always on the radio. 1290 and 95.7 WHIO. And when News Center 7 is in wall-to-wall weather coverage mode, you'll always hear it simulcast on WHIO radio. That means you can take your radio to your safe spot and hear exactly what's happening with severe weather. When it comes to weather, we don't mess around.
My mom has taken up going to the park to practice yoga.
My dad's going to a club, but not a book club, a salsa club.
Finding new hobbies comes with age.
My mom has started getting lost and not knowing where she's going.
Becoming lost or disoriented doesn't. Confusion with time or place may be a sign of Alzheimer's. An early diagnosis can help improve the quality of life for your loved one. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association.
What you're talking about. Miami Valley's Morning News continues on WHIO.
516, I'm Larry Hansgen, 78 degrees in Dayton. Here are the big three things you need to know. Hot again today, a high of 90, a heat index over 100, and a chance of scattered thunderstorms this afternoon and evening. Governor DeWine orders flags flown at half-staff in honor of a Lorain police officer killed in an ambush this week. And our top story, an officer-involved shooting near the Wright Brothers Museum.
Yeah, police say they showed up to a crash. A man ran from the scene with a gun and moments later was shot by a Dayton police officer.
Medics took the suspect to the hospital and doctors did surgery.
That is News Center 7's James Brown. Dayton police are now asking the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office to lead this investigation.
Well, neighbors not happy about the pace of cleanup at the former Cornell Meat Market in Dayton. The property caught fire, was torn down last October.
The owner of the building agreed to do the cleanup after being issued a warrant related to a public nuisance. It was scheduled to start about a month ago. And despite the dumpsters lining the area, neighbors are concerned about the lack of progress.
News Center 7's Mason Fletcher reporting the city has not yet put a timeline on the cleanup.
And we now know the identity of a woman who lost her life in a March garage fire.
The Montgomery County coroner identified her as 34-year-old Jamesia Ruffin, and her body was discovered after a fire on Victor Avenue March 14th. The cause of her death was reported as thermal burns, and the manner of death has not been determined.
That is WHIO's Jason Michaels. Her body was discovered after the fire was put out.
Well, President Trump heads to Scotland today for visits to a pair of his golf clubs and trade talks with the UK Prime Minister.
President Trump's visit to Scotland is a bit of a homecoming. His mother Mary was born in the country, but his previous trips to Scotland have been met with protest. He'll spend the weekend at his golf resort in Turnberry, which he bought in 2014. The president will also cut the ribbon on a new course opening at his golf resort in Aberdeen.
That's Fox's Jared Halpern reporting from the White House.
And former New York Congressman George Santos set to begin his 87-month prison sentence. This after pleading guilty to federal charges.
George Santos, who represented New York's 3rd Congressional District before being expelled from Congress, pleaded guilty last August to 2 of 23 counts of wire fraud and identity theft. He was accused of inflating fundraising numbers and faking donor names to qualify for financial support from the Republican Party in 2022 when he was elected.
That is Fox's Tanya J. Powers reporting for us from New York.
In business news, grabbing headlines this morning, federal regulators have approved Paramount's $8 billion merger with Skydance. If you're keeping track at home, the FCC approved the merger by a 2-1 vote. WHIO News Time is 5:19.
This is Miami Valley's Morning News. I'm Larry Hansgen. Let's look ahead at the 5-day forecast with Storm Center 7 meteorologist Britley Ritz.
90 degrees this afternoon with scattered showers and storms possible, feeling more like 100. So we grab onto that rain, hoping that it cools us down for a second. Doing the same thing again on Saturday. 89 degrees on Sunday. Scattered showers and thunderstorms becoming less likely of a chance of rain Monday and Tuesday, with high temperatures at 92 on Monday and 91 on Tuesday.
Live Doppler 7 radar clear. 75 in Springfield, 77 in Xenia, 78 at Dayton Severe Weather Station.
This traffic report is sponsored by Grismer Tire and Auto Service. Is your car's AC acting up? Keep cool this summer by visiting your trusted automotive air conditioning repair experts. Breathe a little easier by making an appointment today at GrismerTire.com.
An update with Will Taylor.
Larry, our interstate system's still in a great shape this morning. There are no accidents to slow anyone down. Our travel times are looking great if you are traveling westbound on 70 from 675. It's a 10-mile trip over to I-75. That'll take you just about 9 minutes. With traffic every 10 minutes, I'm Will Taylor, WHIO, Triple Team Traffic.
Now, fans of the TV show Friends can now immerse themselves in the iconic sitcom at the new Friends Experience at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas. The interactive exhibit features set recreations, original props, and costumes from the show. Visitors can even grab a cup of coffee at a Central Perk-inspired cafe. And still to come on Miami Valley's Morning News, grief that comes from empathy. It's our in-depth impact story, and that's coming up in 3 minutes. WHIO News Time is 5:21.
Nobody likes to be told what to think. That's why we're careful to make sure our news is right down the middle. Both sides and all viewpoints. Then you decide what you think about it. Dayton's News and Talk is WHIO. Depend on it.
I'm Ron Otto with My Sports Rundown, my opinion on the big stories in sports. While the Cincinnati Reds are trending up, my Cleveland Guardians are trending down. And to me, it comes down to two organizational problems. They rarely spend money, and they can't develop position players. It's one thing if you don't have a big payroll, but you need to fill the holes with a solid minor league system. Pitching hasn't been the problem, but the only position players they've developed since the 90s have been Francisco Lindor, Victor Martinez, Jose Ramirez, and Steven Kwan. And Lindor is in New York, and Martinez is retired. It could also come down to basic philosophy. The powers that be keep telling us, just make it to the playoffs. Anything can happen. I say spend a little more money and make something happen. Saying anything can happen is like not investing in retirement, then relying on a winning lottery ticket to pay for it. Anything can happen, right? I'm Ron Otto, and that's my Sports Rundown. For This Week in History, I'm Ron Otto. July 20th, 1957, former Ohio governor and founder of WHIO Radio, James Cox, dies at the age of 87.
I'm going to step off the limb now.
July 20th, 1969, Wapakoneta's Neil Armstrong becomes the first person to step on the moon.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
July 21st, 2024, President Joe Biden abandons his campaign for a second term and endorses Vice President Kamala Harris.
So I've decided the best way forward is to pass the torch to a new generation.
July 22nd, 1934. Public enemy number one, John Dillinger, is shot dead by federal agents outside a movie theater in Chicago. And July 24th, 1982, Survivor's Eye of the Tiger from the Rocky III soundtrack starts a 6-week run at number one. For This Week in History, I'm Ron Otto.
Imagine being on a vacation for a very long time. Now imagine saving money nightly while you do it. Sounds pretty great, right? With Vrbo's long stay discounts, you can stay longer and save more. Our customers save an average of 10% when they book select properties for a week or longer. Just in case you needed another reason to extend that vacation. Book the perfect summer getaway today with Vrbo Private Vacation Rentals. Your future self will thank you later.
Jess has a problem.
Something's wrong with my air conditioner.
Lucky for Jess, she's got her man.
Do you mean Herman Services?
It doesn't matter if her problem is with plumbing, heating, AC, or electrical.
I just call Herman Services.
Her man will come to the rescue.
No, my man tried to fix it with duct tape. Now I need Herman Services.
Because no problem is too small for...
Don't say it.
Her man.
It's Herman!
Herman Services, 513-SERVICE or online at hermanservices.com. Proud to rely on Root.
Tom.
Dayton's only all-local news radio station. The power of WHIO Radio and News Center 7 means you'll know first. This is Miami Valley's Morning News on WHIO.
Good morning, I'm Larry Hansgen. TMZ says a Chuck E. Cheese mascot was recently arrested for credit card theft in Tallahassee, Florida. Jermel J. Jones was portraying Chuck when cops swarmed the restaurant and cuffed him in the middle of a children's birthday party. We have 78 degrees at 5:25.
I like that you called him Chuck. It's 25 minutes after 5 o'clock.
Poor Chucky. I'm Jeremy Radloff.
I'm Brittany Otto. Marginal risk in place for north of I-70 today for the threat of severe weather.
A marginal risk is a level 1 of 5 from the Storm Prediction Center, and that means we have an isolated chance of a severe storm. Nothing widespread, just 1 or 2 intense storms that are capable of producing damaging winds. That's our biggest concern. Otherwise, it turns to heavy rain. We have a lot of moisture hanging around in the atmosphere, and that means we grab onto 1 or 2 showers that pop up that could drop 1 to 2, possibly 3 inches of rain per hour. So flash flooding becomes a concern.
That's Storm Center 7 meteorologist Britley Ritz.
Here is a WHIO impact story, which means we take you in-depth on a major story every hour.
Those with loved ones in an uncertain situation can cause a unique type of grief.
Yeah, Fox's Lisa Brady has more on this for us this morning.
The uncertain fate of a loved one can lead to severe emotional distress. Families of missing loved ones or those who are seriously ill with an unclear prognosis face a unique and agonizing grief called ambiguous loss. This type of grief can be seen in recent events like the July 4th Texas floods all the way back to the 9/11 attacks. Experts explain this anxiety is caused by the unknown and leaves many people in emotional limbo. The emotional stress also affects families worldwide, from coping with war in Ukraine to Israel and Gaza. Researchers say the fluctuation between hope and despair can lead to a prolonged state of distress.
And for more health news that impacts you and your family in the days ahead, of course, stay tuned right here to 1290 and 95.7 WHIO.
This is WHIO Continuing News.
Remember the happy place I went to? You go to yours.
Happy Gilmore returns to the green.
Nearly 30 years after the original film, Adam Sandler returns in Happy Gilmore 2 on Netflix.
That's Fox's Michelle Polino. WHIO News Time 526.
Sean Hannity, 3 to 5. Time now for the Sean Morning Minute.
Your morning espresso starts right here. It's the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
And Mark Halpern was probably the only other person that I knew that was as obsessed as I was over daily early voting numbers. Now, I'm going to confess to this audience that I did something I normally don't do. And that is, I did not share this information with my audience on a daily basis because I did not want anybody to get complacent. I didn't. There were very few people that I shared this information with. I just kept it to myself. I knew and I wanted people to believe, because I thought it could be true, and it was not a manipulation in any way, that, you have to assume in an important election that your vote is going to be the deciding vote.
The Sean Hannity Show from coast to coast later today.
This is a Consumer Warrior Clark Howard Minute.
If you are headed to college, or you have a kid or a niece or nephew headed to college, there is a feast or famine thing going on right now, looking at enrollments this fall and the next couple of falls, that a small number of universities in the country, a lot of state flagship universities, and then the elite schools, still very, very hard to get into. And all the other schools, of which there are thousands, are begging for students. And they're easier to get into, obviously, for that reason, but they're also more willing to offer deals with scholarships and grants and the rest. So, yeah, it's really cool to say you're going to this, that, or the other school. I think it's a lot neater to not have to write the big checks for that school.
Clark is WHIO's Consumer Warrior, and you can hear him during Miami Valley's Morning News on WHIO.
Imagine being on a vacation for a very long time. Now imagine saving money nightly while you do it. Sounds pretty great, right? With Vrbo's long stay discounts, you can stay longer and save more. Our customers save an average of 10% when they book select properties for a week or longer. Just in case you needed another reason to extend that vacation. Book the perfect summer getaway today with Vrbo Private Vacation Rentals. Your future self will thank you later.
Jess has a problem.
Something's wrong with my air conditioner.
Lucky for Jess, she's got her man.
Do you mean Herman Services?
It doesn't matter if her problem is with plumbing, heating, AC, or electrical.
I just call Herman Services.
Her man will come to the rescue.
No, my man tried to fix it with duct tape. Now I need Herman Services.
Because no problem is too small for...
Don't say it.
Herman.
It's Herman.
Herman Services, 513 Service, or online at hermanservices.com. Proud to rely on Root.
This is the station Dayton turns to first for live team coverage of breaking news. WHIO Dayton Springfield, celebrating 90 years of being Dayton's news and talk station. Depend on it.
Good morning, it's 5:30. I'm Larry Hansgen, and welcome to Miami Valley's Morning News. We are live on Friday, July 25th, 78 degrees in Dayton, and here are the big three things you need to know. Going to be hot again with a high 90, a heat index over 100, and a chance for scattered thunderstorms this afternoon and evening. President Trump heading to Scotland for trade talks with the UK Prime Minister. And our top local story, investigators show up to a crash, and minutes later, Dayton police shoot a man.
This happened yesterday on 3rd Street and Broadway Street near the Wright Brothers Museum.
That's News Center 7's Nick Foley. Police say the man ran from the crash.
Yeah, when officers went after him, they say he had a gun. That is when one of the officers fired.
WHIO spoke with the owner of West Social Tap and Table, Larry Dillon.
As I was pulling up, that police cars were here. I had heard about the incident a few hours ago, but when I got here, I was a little surprised to see the vehicle still here.
Yeah, medics took the man to the hospital where we are told doctors performed surgery. No word on the man's condition.
Stay tuned here as we work to bring you the very latest on this developing story on your station for breaking news, 1290 and 95.7 WHIO.
The dangerous heat persists across the Miami Valley. I'm Storm Center 7 meteorologist Brittany Ritz. I'll tell you when we finally get to cool down here in your extended forecast.
No big issues to get around this hour. Things are moving well on our interstate systems. With traffic every 10 minutes, I'm Will Taylor, WHIO Triple Team Traffic.
I'm Larry Hansgen. This is Miami Valley's Morning News.
I'm Brittany Otto.
And I'm Jeremy Ratliff.
A man was detained after SWAT was called to a Vandalia neighborhood. Police called to Sussex Place around 10 p.m.
Yeah, dispatchers got a call from that address reporting that someone had shot their mother. That's according to Captain Ben Walker with the Vandalia Police Department.
Police could see movement inside the home, but no one came out. SWAT was called around 11 p.m. After breaching the door, a man came to the door and was detained around 11:20 p.m. No one else was found inside of the home and no injuries were reported. Walker said police have a history at the address and with the man taken into custody.
That is WHIO's Benjamin Fridkiss. Police are continuing to investigate why the call was made and if the man made the call or is the victim of a swatting.
Well, we now know what caused a semi to roll over on I-75 this week.
Troopers say the big rig was hauling steel coils. They came loose and the driver lost control. This happened when the semi was on the ramp from US 33 and getting onto the highway in Auglaize County. Now, the wreck damaged parts of the highway's pavement and ODOT will need to fix it. No one was hurt.
That's News Center 7's Gabrielle Enright.
Now, constantly updating stories with new details. An Ohio officer shot and killed after an ambush attack on police west of Cleveland. Fox's Kristen Goodwin reports.
The Lorain Police Department revealing 35-year-old officer Philip Wagner died surrounded by family at a hospital in Cleveland. Officials say 28-year-old Michael Joseph Parker opened fire on Wagner and his partner as they parked to eat pizza in a remote area Wednesday. Wagner's partner and a third officer who responded to the scene were injured and taken to the hospital. The shooter was killed after an exchange of gunfire.
Now, police call this an ambush attack.
Professional wrestling icon Hulk Hogan has died.
He was born Terry Gene Bollea in Augusta, Georgia. He began his career in wrestling in 1977, eventually signing with WWF, which would later become the wrestling giant we know now as the WWE.
That's Fox's Matt Finn reporting. Florida police say Hogan died of cardiac arrest. He was 71.
Now back here in the Miami Valley, a woman now facing charges in a deadly crash in Springfield that happened last spring.
Erica Malillo is facing 2 counts of vehicular homicide and OVI. Investigators say she was driving while under the influence and she caused a crash on West John Street in April. Erin Mundy was a passenger in the car. Mundy died of her injuries.
And that is News Center 7's Letitia Perry reporting.
Construction workers start a $4 million project at a growing school in Miamisburg.
A new athletic facility is coming together at Dayton Christian School. The 10,500 square foot multi-purpose center will feature a gym, chapel, theater, and a 2,700 square foot weight room. It's expected to be finished in about 8 months.
That's WHIO's Ron Otto reporting. The school says it's seen a 75% increase in student enrollment in the last 5 years.
Now, we've learned that Justice Department officials will meet with Jeffrey Epstein's co-conspirator, Ghislaine Maxwell.
Ghislaine Maxwell's attorney, David Oscar Marcus, says Maxwell answered every single one of Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche's questions.
She never declined to answer. She answered all the questions truthfully, honestly, and to the best of her ability.
Telling reporters Blanche took a full day and asked a lot of questions, explaining Maxwell never stopped and never invoked a privilege.
That is Fox's Kristen Goodwin, WHIO News Time 535.
I'm Larry Hansgen, and this is Miami Valley's Morning News. Browns training camp continues. Yesterday, quarterback Joe Flacco was asked how badly he wants to win the starting job.
So easy to look ahead and picture yourself as the starter and hearing that news and things like that. But I really, second day of camp, I think the best thing for me is to just stay in the moment and come out here and have fun and compete and just do what I love to do.
All games will be heard this season on your Dayton Radio home of the Browns, beginning with a preseason game versus Carolina 2 weeks from today, August 8th. In the Bengals camp, Trey Hendrickson's holdout continues, and first-round draft pick Shamar Stewart is also a no-show due to contract issues. And a local restaurant will deliver you lunch via a drone. That story in 2 minutes. WHIO News Time 536.
It takes a lot of work and people to put on a live radio station. But being in the moment with us, live and local, is something you can't get anywhere else. WHIO, Dayton's News and Talk. Depend on it.
This is a Consumer Warrior Clark Howard Minute.
You could have taken my breath away when I was shown how with AI, someone could take 10 seconds of what I've said on radio or TV or podcast or anywhere, take those 10 seconds and make a perfect voice duplication of me, having me say anything. And a lot of things that were demonstrated to me were things I would never say, but it sounds exactly like me because it is my voice pattern. So know that this is a new wrinkle with the grandparent scam, for just one example, where you hear in the voice of your actual grandchild that they're in trouble, they were in a wreck, they're in the hospital, they're in jail, whatever. Know you've got to check with other relatives before you believe that one of your relatives is truly in trouble.
Clark is WHIO's Consumer Warrior, and you can hear him during Miami Valley's Morning News on WHIO.
Imagine being on a vacation for a very long time. Now imagine saving money nightly while you do it. Sounds pretty great, right? With Vrbo's long stay discounts, you can stay longer and save more. Our customers save an average of 10% when they book select properties for a week or longer. Just in case you needed another reason to extend that vacation. Book the perfect summer getaway today with Vrbo Private Vacation Rentals. Your future self will thank you later.
That's the sound of James adding long-lasting Gain scent boosters to his laundry this morning. Several hours later, James sniffs the irresistible scent of Gain on his shirt. Gain. Several hours later, James has even caught the attention of his mother-in-law, and she never gives him attention.
Ooh, you smell amazing, James.
Oh, thanks, Mom. I love you too.
I never said that.
Add Gain scent boosters to your laundry. Add joy to your day.
Good morning, Dayton. You're waking up with the information you need to start the day. Miami Valley's morning news continues on WHIO.
Morning, I'm Larry Hansgen, and another hot day ahead of us. And I mean, we're off to a hot start already. 78 degrees, and it's only 5:39.
Right now, it's 21 minutes before 6 o'clock.
I'm Jeremy Ratliff.
I'm Brittany Otto. Well, it's a bird, it's a plane, it's TJ Chumps.
Technology company Dexa is teaming up with TJ Chumps in Kettering to offer drone delivery. Drone delivery will be available from July 31st to August 2nd from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. for those within a 1-mile radius of the restaurant. TJ Chumps will donate all proceeds from drone deliveries to the Dayton area charity Have a Shot of Freedom.
That's WHIO's Christine Bellino.
Now, Premier Health still trying to figure out how it got hacked 2 years ago, but they say it doesn't appear any personal information was misused.
The health network started investigating after noticing suspicious activity. Premier Health says hackers had access to Social Security numbers, financial information, website login credentials, and health insurance information.
News Center 7's Letitia Perry, they're reporting if you have been impacted, you can expect a letter soon from Premier Health.
Well, and a concerning development you've been updating for you. Fighting between Thailand and Cambodia over disputed border areas has entered a second day, leaving at least 15 dead and displacing more than 58,000 people. Clashes flared up again today in multiple areas.
Now, we are shocked to report that a child has died at Hershey Park in Pennsylvania. Fox's Sue Guzman brings us the reports.
Hershey Park officials making the announcement in a statement Thursday night, saying a 9-year-old child had lost their life at the boardwalk, the park's water attraction. Child has not been identified and the cause of death not announced. In the statement, the company says from the moment our lifeguard team recognized that a child was in distress, they performed an immediate rescue and continuing life-saving efforts and transported to the hospital, but the child did not survive.
And the company vowing a thorough internal review and is cooperating with authorities, adding that safety is their top priority.
This is WHIO Continuing News.
Out on the West Coast, Comic-Con International underway, drawing tens of thousands of fans, many in costume. The 4-day pop culture event started yesterday. It'll spotlight updates on the new Predator movie and Alien Earth series. Fans dressed as their favorite superheroes, villains, and characters from film, TV, and comics. WHIO News Time 541.
19 away from 6, I'm Larry Hansgen. This is Miami Valley's Morning News as we're taking a look at our 5-day extended forecast, which includes the weekend and beyond. Here's Storm Center 7 meteorologist Brittany Ritz.
75 degrees this morning for a low, and it is very muggy. Already feeling like we're in the 80s. 90 this afternoon, feeling like we're closing in on 100 degrees. We're hoping to get some rain. We'll get a good chance throughout the afternoon and evening, very scattered. 73 tomorrow morning, 90 tomorrow afternoon, feeling like 100, more scattered thunderstorms likely and a few maybe strong. 89 degrees on Sunday, feeling more like 99 with a chance for showers and thunderstorms once again. A little more isolated chance for rain Monday and Tuesday as temperatures are back into the low 90s.
Well, our live Doppler 7 radar is clear. 75 in Springfield, 78 in Kettering, and 78 at Dayton Severe Weather Station.
This traffic report is sponsored by Grismer Tire and Auto Service. Refresh your ride with brand new tires at unbeatable prices. Plus, buy 4 new tires and get 4 free oil changes, an additional $300 value. Make an appointment today at GrismerTire.com.
An update with Will Taylor.
Larry, our Friday morning commute still moving well. Nothing out there to slow anybody down. Our travel time's looking good if you are traveling southbound on 75 from the Miami-Montgomery County line. That's a 12-mile drive down to US 35. That'll take you about 13 minutes. With traffic every 10 minutes, I'm Will Taylor, WHIO, Triple Team Traffic.
Now on Wall Street, the Dow closed down 316 points at 44,693, and a concert in Centerville driven indoors by the heat. That story coming up in 2 minutes. WHIO News Time, 5:43.
At WHIO, we have a really unique and special morning news show. It's called Miami Valley's Morning News. You always get the latest forecast and traffic updates every 10 minutes. Plus, the news from overnight you might not have heard about. We think it should be your first place to check in each day to hear about the stories that everyone's talking about. Would you give us a try tomorrow? 1290 and 95.7 WHIO. Dayton's News and Talk. Depend on.
Imagine being on a vacation for a very long time. Now imagine saving money nightly while you do it. Sounds pretty great, right? With Vrbo's long stay discounts, you can stay longer and save more. Our customers save an average of 10% when they book select properties for a week or longer. Just in case you needed another reason to extend that vacation. Book the perfect summer getaway today with Vrbo Private Vacation Rentals. Your future self will thank you later.
When you've got plumbing problems, don't call the amateurs. Call the Plumb Tight pros who know how to finish strong. Plumb Tight, fast, reliable fixes. No leaks, no clogs, no missed calls, just perfect plays every time. Plumb Tight, because you deserve better.
Find your next adventure with a brand new Kia from King's Kia. Right now, get 1.9% APR financing for 60 months on new 2025 Kia Sorento, Sorento Hybrid, and Sportage models during the Kia Summer Sticker Sales Event. Make the most of your summer. Visit kingskia.com today. 1.9 financing for 60 months on new 2025 Kia Sportage and Sorento models. $1,748 per month per thousand finance in 60 months. Auto buyers will qualify for Kia Finance America. Offer ends 7/7. See dealer for full details.
This message is sponsored by Greenlight. With school out, summer is the perfect time to teach our kids real-world money skills they'll use forever. Greenlight is a debit card and the #1 family finance and safety app used by millions of families, helping kids learn how to save, invest, and spend wisely. Parents can send their kids money and track their spending and saving while kids build money confidence and skills in fun ways. Start your risk-free Greenlight trial today at greenlight.com/try now. That's greenlight.com/try now.
Together with the resources of News Center 7, you're on Dayton's #1 news team. Now, back to Miami Valley's morning news on WHIO.
5:45, I'm Larry Hanskin, 78 degrees in Dayton. Big three things you need to know. It's hot again, high in 90, heat index over 100, a chance for scattered thunderstorms this afternoon and evening. West Nile virus detected for a third time in Greene County. And our top story, a car crash in the Wright Dunbar neighborhood prompts an officer-involved shooting.
Yeah, it happened yesterday near 3rd and Broadway Street near the Wright Brothers Museum. News Center 7's Nick Foley has more.
Police say that the man ran from that crash. When officers went after him, they say he had a gun. That is when one of those officers fired.
Yeah, medics took the man to the hospitals where doctors performed surgery. Dayton police are now asking the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office to lead this investigation.
Well, the city of Centerville making a change due to the heat.
The Centerville Pops concert was all set for Stubbs Park Friday night, but high heat and the chance of rain is forcing the show indoors. It will now be held at the Sinclair Centerville Theater on Clio Road.
That's WHIO's Ron Otto reporting. Doors will open at 6:30. The performance will begin at 7.
And the mayor of an Ohio village has admitted to running over a wanted man.
Anthony Ward was wanted in the village of Butler for a parole violation after he was convicted of sexual battery. Mayor Wesley Dingus saw Ward in a car on July 11th and followed him while contacting the village police chief. When Ward tried to run from the chief, Mayor Dingus hit Ward with his car, which he says was an accident. The mayor is still on the job.
That is WHIO's Parker Tester reporting.
Updating a story that we're following, the lawyer representing Herschel Creechbaum's estate looking into filing a wrongful death lawsuit. The remains of a 7-year-old found last week in Dayton.
We know that teachers and the police called Children's Services on multiple occasions to report issues as it relates to the care of this child. We know that Herschel was autistic, nonverbal, one of the most vulnerable of our citizens.
That's attorney Michael Wright. Creechbaum's mother, Ashley Johnson, her boyfriend, Michael Kendrick, arraigned on charges yesterday.
Now, the president is heading to Scotland today. He's going to visit a pair of his golf clubs, and that's not all.
Before heading back to the U.S. on Tuesday, President Trump will also spend time with UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer for the two leaders to put the finishing touches on a tariff and trade deal first announced in May.
That's Fox's Jared Halpern reporting from the White House.
Heading to an airport today, United Airlines has resumed operations after a brief nationwide mainline ground stop. Fox's Ted Linder reports.
United Airlines briefly grounded all of its mainline flights nationwide Thursday night after a fire alarm went off at its Chicago operations center. The alarm forced employees to evacuate and switch to a backup facility, triggering the temporary ground stop. United says no flights were diverted and its regional carrier, United Express, was not affected. Operations have since returned to normal.
United Airlines confirms the stop was brief and that safety was never at risk.
In news east of our state, a court steps in to resolve a school vaccine requirement in West Virginia.
Republican Governor Patrick Morrisey issued an executive order after he took office, allowing parents a religious exemption to avoid school vaccine mandates. But the state school board voted to direct West Virginia schools to ignore the order, follow state law, and prohibit exemptions. A judge sided with the governor Thursday, allowing 3 families to attend school this fall without the vaccinations.
That's Fox's Tom Rigotti.
On business news, the United Health Group says it's cooperating with federal, criminal, and civil investigations involving its market-leading Medicare business. The healthcare giant said it had contacted the Department of Justice after reviewing media reports about investigations into certain elements of its business. WHO News Time 549.
And this is Miami Valley's Morning News. I'm Larry Hansgen. A 5-day extended forecast, something we're proud to present to you 4 times an hour each morning. Here's Storm Center 7 meteorologist Brittany Ritz.
90 degrees this afternoon with scattered showers and storms possible, feeling more like 100. So we grab onto that rain, hoping that it cools us down for a second. Doing the same thing again on Saturday. 89 degrees on Sunday. Scattered showers and thunderstorms becoming less likely of a chance of rain Monday and Tuesday, with high temperatures at 92 on Monday and 91 on Tuesday.
Our live Doppler 7 radar clear. We got 74 in Springfield, 77 at Wright Patton, 78 at Dayton Severe Weather Station.
This traffic report is sponsored by Grismer Tire and Auto Service. Expert brake repair you can trust. Make sure you can stop when you need to the most. Get a little peace of mind by making an appointment today with your trusted brake repair experts at GrismerTire.com.
Now an update with Will Taylor.
Larry, just a minor issue this morning. The left lane is blocked. This is 75 northbound. This is just past Central Avenue. There's some construction in that area right now. This is probably adding about 5 minutes onto your drive, so this might be a spot you want to avoid. If you get off 75 northbound at Dixie Drive, you can use that to bypass all the backup. The traffic every 10 minutes. I'm Will Taylor, WHIO Triple Team Traffic.
Now, the Indy Star says Ball State University has a golfer named Happy Gilmore. Golf fans often yell Happy Gilmore movie lines when he's on the course. He's signed endorsement deals with Arby's and has golf gear company named Sunday Golf. Happy has never met Adam Sandler, but does plan to watch Happy Gilmore 2 this weekend. Well, still to come on Miami Valley's Morning News, what's in your closet? We'll discuss in 3 minutes. WHIO News Time. It's 5:51.
A lot of weird stuff happens around here overnight. That's why we feature Dayton's only all-news morning show. Catch up and know what's going on every morning. Miami Valley's Morning News is on WHIO. WHIO, Dayton's News and Talk. Depend on it.
Specialty Motor Works are the experts in European and Asian auto repair. Our team has the tools, equipment, and experience to fix your car right.
Specialty Motor Works, your hometown auto experts.
What is the WHIO Storm Center? It means when you hear these tones, you are just a few minutes away from emergency weather information. Weather is our #1 priority. The Storm Center 7 forecast is always on the radio. 1290 and 95.7 WHIO. And when News Center 7 is in wall-to-wall weather coverage mode, you'll always hear it simulcast on WHIO radio. That means you can take your radio to your safe spot and hear exactly what's happening with severe weather. When it comes to weather, we don't mess around.
Find your next adventure with a brand new Kia from King's Kia. Right now, get 1.9% APR financing for 60 months on new 2025 Kia Sorento, Sorento Hybrid, and Sportage models during the Kia Summer Sticker Sales Event. Make the most of your summer. Visit kingskia.com today. 1.9 financing for 60 months on new 2025 Kia Sportage and Sorento models. $1,748 per month per thousand finance in 60 months. Auto buyers will qualify for Kia Finance America. Offer ends 7/7. See dealer for full details.
Oh, you're paying a service fee to your plumber? Lame. We don't have that. What does Plumtide have? Experts who know what the heck they're doing. At Plumtide, we believe you deserve better. Call Plumtide today.
Unlock the true potential of your ride with Big Papa's Car Audio, located at 6705 Montgomery Road, Cincinnati, Ohio, 45236. We specialize in upgrading your vehicle with customized sound systems, wheels, tires, wraps, and remote starters. Transform your drive and make every journey unforgettable. Ready to elevate your car style and performance? Visit the location or call us at 513-561-5300 to book your appointment today. Big Papa's Audio, where your vehicle upgrade dreams come true.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have Leaf Filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/radio to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/radio for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
Breaking news all morning. The Storm Center 7 forecast to start your day and triple team traffic. Miami Valley's morning news continues on WHIO.
It's 5:55. I'm Larry Hansgen. 78 degrees already in Dayton, and another hot one ahead of us with temperatures hitting 90 this afternoon. Heat index well over 100. And today's the first day that we really have to talk about that chance of a thunderstorm perhaps boiling up this afternoon or evening. Again, right now, 78 degrees at 5:55. A survey posted by the Express reveals that the average person only wears half of their wardrobe each year, despite spending over $400 annually on new clothes. Now, Brittany Otto, I'm not going to pick on you.
Okay.
I'm not going to be a misogynist and say just because you're a woman that you spend a lot of money on clothes, because I don't think that's true.
It's not true.
Not that I don't think you dress well, but I just don't think you're not that person.
No, I'm not.
But look at your wardrobe. Look in your closet. How much of that are you actually wearing?
Oh, like an eighth probably of what I have. I wear a lot of like athleisure stuff.
Okay.
Like, I don't know. I buy a lot of school-related things or Chicago Bears stuff.
Okay.
And I tend to wear that.
All right. Now, Jeremy Ratliff, your sartorial splendor is renowned, of course. Mm-hmm. But what about you? I mean, are you really wearing all that stuff you own?
Definitely not. I was rearranging some clothes in the closet yesterday, and it was very alarming how little of my wardrobe I actually wear.
Well, and it's probably really relevant for you right now because you just moved.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's hanging stuff up. It's like, you know what? Oh, my goodness. I have so many great outfits I could be wearing, and then I put on a nice, cozy sweatshirt here in the studio. So.
All right. Now, Will Taylor, you've not had as much time to accumulate a massive wardrobe, but of what you have, how much are you wearing?
I would probably say I'm wearing like a third of what I have. There's lots of things I'm not wearing in the closet. Crept back. There's probably dust on it.
So do you ever just get rid of stuff, or is it just taking up room?
Every couple years, I will throw a bag together for Goodwill, but it's probably due. It's probably due time.
Yeah, Dalton, I don't know. I'm not trying to pry into your personal life, but
but
yes, you are.
But here we go.
A little bit, yeah. I mean, so what's your situation as far as clothing?
So I definitely only wear half of my stuff. And the only thing I wear is like jeans and a t-shirt. And I wear the same t-shirt like 7 times over again every week.
Okay. All right. Well, it sounds like we need to do perhaps a clothing drive here within our own morning show.
Yeah.
Much less do a station-wide thing. But I will tell you this, something I would encourage everyone to do. I conduct what I call auditions. Is I will stand in my closet and I will look at everything that's hanging up or folded on top, and I will say, okay, make a case to stay. Make a case to stay, and if that article of clothing doesn't do a good job of making a good argument to remain in the closet, they're out.
That's smart.
That's fair.
Gone. All right, our top story today, we're talking about the heat, yes, but this was something that happened yesterday, a little scary, over in the Wright Dunbar neighborhood. It's 5:58.
For This Week in History, I'm Ron Otto. July 20th, 1957. Former Ohio governor and founder of WHIO Radio, James Cox, dies at the age of 87.
I'm going to step off the limb now.
July 20th, 1969. Wapakoneta's Neil Armstrong becomes the first person to step on the moon.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
July 21st, 2024. President Joe Biden abandons his campaign for a second term and endorses Vice President Kamala Harris.
So I've decided the best way forward is to pass the torch to a new generation.
July 22nd, 1934. Public enemy number 1, John Dillinger, is shot dead by federal agents outside a movie theater in Chicago. And July 24th, 1982, Survivor's Eye of the Tiger from the Rocky III soundtrack starts a 6-week run at number 1. For This Week in History, I'm Ron Otto. I'm Ron Otto with my Sports Rundown, my opinion on the big stories in sports. While the Cincinnati Reds are trending up, my Cleveland Guardians are trending down. And to me, it comes down to 2 organizational problems. They rarely spend money, and they can't develop position players. It's one thing if you don't have a big payroll, but you need to fill the holes with a solid minor league system. Pitching hasn't been the problem, but the only position players they've developed since the 90s have been Francisco Lindor, Victor Martinez, Jose Ramirez, and Steven Kwan. And Lindor is in New York, and Martinez is retired. It could also come down to basic philosophy. The powers that be keep telling us, just make it to the playoffs. Anything can happen. I say spend a little more money and make something happen. Saying anything can happen is like not investing in retirement, then relying on a winning lottery ticket to pay for it. Anything can happen, right? I'm Ron Otto, and that's my Sports Rundown.
This is the station Dayton turns to first for live team coverage of breaking news. WHIO Dayton Springfield, celebrating 90 years of being Dayton's news and talk station. Depend on it.
Good morning. It's 6 o'clock. I'm Larry Hansgen. Welcome to Miami Valley's Morning News. We are live on Friday, July 25th. We got 78 degrees in Dayton, and here are the big 3 things you need to know. It's going to be hot again with a high of 90, a heat index over 100, and a chance for scattered thunderstorms in this afternoon and evening. Wrestling legend Hulk Hogan has died from a heart attack. He was 71. And our top local story, Dayton police shoot a man following a car chase.
This was on 3rd Street and Broadway, close to the Wright Brothers Museum. Police said the man ran from the crash, and when they went after him, they said he had a gun.
News Center 7's James Brown says that's when one of the officers fired.
Yeah, WHIO spoke to a business owner who works in the area.
As I was pulling up, the police cars were here. I had heard about the incident a few hours ago, but when I got here, I was a little surprised to see the vehicle still here.
Medics took that man to the hospital where doctors did perform surgery.
Yeah, and Dayton police now asking the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office to lead this investigation.
Stay tuned here as we work to bring you the very latest on this story as it develops on your station for breaking news. 1290 and 95.7 WHIO.
The threat for a few stronger thunderstorms in the mix this weekend. I'm Storm Center 7 meteorologist Brittany Ritz. We'll talk about the storm threats, what we're most vulnerable for, and, of course, the timing here in your extended forecast.
Dealing with a slowdown on 75 northbound just past Central Avenue because of some construction. The left lane is blocked. I would get off at Dixie Drive to get around that backup. The traffic every 10 minutes. I'm Will Taylor, WHIO, Triple Team Traffic.
I'm Larry Hanskin. This is Miami Valley's Morning News, sponsored by Russell Total Wealth and Wellness.
I'm Brittany Otto.
And I'm Jeremy Ratliff.
Now, if you stepped outside today, you're already feeling the heat.
While we do have much of the Miami Valley not under that heat advisory anymore, treat it as though you are. Butler, Warren, Clinton County got extended until 8 o'clock this evening for some of the more heavily populated areas. The further south you go, a lot of blacktop down there. The sunlight gets absorbed, and so the heat ramps right back up.
That's Storm Center 7 meteorologist Britley Ritz.
Now, West Nile virus has been detected for a third time in a local county.
Greene County Public Health said that due to a third positive test for West Nile virus, they will be spraying for mosquito control. The treatment will take place on July 28th, starting at 9 p.m. until 7 a.m. on July 29th. Spraying will be focused on a list of areas in Xenia, and you can find that list at WHIO.com.
That is WHIO's Christine Bellino.
A woman said she rushed to help people inside a burning apartment building.
This happened on Cloverleaf Drive in Troy. People told us they saw a big plume of black smoke at these apartments. Medics took one man to the hospital. The Troy Fire Department is investigating.
That's News Center 7's Gabrielle Enright.
And a suspect is arrested in the shooting death of a woman in Springfield on Wednesday.
The shooting happened on East Cecil Street around 3:45 Wednesday afternoon. The victim was found with multiple gunshot wounds and died at the scene. City sources say the shooting stemmed from a domestic dispute.
That is WHIO's Jason Michaels. 28-year-old Marcus Hassan is now in the Clark County Jail, facing 2 counts of murder and other charges.
New details on a deadly mobile home fire in Logan County. The Franklin County Coroner's Office identifying the man firefighters pulled from the living room of that home.
Richard Banks was pronounced dead at a Columbus hospital Sunday. Investigators say they found the fire near the stove in the kitchen, and there is no indication it was suspicious.
That's WHIO's Ron Otto reporting firefighters were able to put out the blaze quickly.
Intel shedding thousands of workers and cutting expenses as its new CEO works to revive the struggling chip makers' fortunes. In a memo to employees, the CEO said Intel plans to end the year with 75,000 core workers. That is down from 99,500 employees at the end of last year, though, through layoffs and attrition.
Well, a name you may be familiar with is back in the news. Former President Biden's chief of staff sits for a deposition as part of an ongoing investigation into the Biden administration.
A source familiar with the meeting says Ron Klain acknowledged President Biden was less energetic and more forgetful, but still had the acuity to govern. The former chief of staff sitting for an hours-long deposition with the House Oversight Committee, which is investigating allegations of a decline and cover-up of President Biden's mental acuity. A committee source also says Klain was approached by Hillary Clinton and National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan, who stated they believed President Biden was not politically viable, with Sullivan saying he was less effective in 2024 compared to 2022.
That's Fox's Ryan Schmelz, WHI News Time 6:05.
I'm Larry Hanskin. This is Miami Valley's Morning News. This summer, I had a chance to spend some time and talk to consumer warrior Clark Howard. And he says that you still have time to enjoy a summer vacation, but that once you make your reservations, you still have a little bit of work left to do.
Do you know that I reshop every hotel I ever book? And that somewhere between 90% and 100% of the time, I get a cheaper hotel rate when I reshop it, usually within 2 weeks of when I'm going.
And you can find more information all the time, anytime, online at clark.com. And not a stereotypical spot in the U.S. to be dealing with floodwaters. We've got that story in 2 minutes. WHIO News Time is 6:06.
WHIO has just won several Associated Press and Edward R. Murrow News Awards, including Best Radio Newscast. We don't do it for awards. We do it for you. Thanks. From WHIO, Dayton's News and Talk.
Imagine being on a vacation for a very long time. Now imagine saving money nightly while you do it. Sounds pretty great, right? With Vrbo's long stay discounts, you can stay longer and save more. Our customers save an average of 10% when they book select properties for a week or longer. Just in case you needed another reason to extend that vacation. Book the perfect summer getaway today with Vrbo Private Vacation Rentals. Your future self will thank you later.
Yes! I love this game.
iXL is actually a learning app that helps them excel in math, science, language arts, even social studies. But it's so fun, my kiddo calls it a game.
Yes, I'm crushing it.
Yeah, you are. He loves the awards and motivating feedback on iXL. It's one of his favorite things to do after school. He loves the challenge. I love the results.
Yes!
iXL, the learning program 16 million students trust. Try it today at IXL.com.
Why settle for ordinary when you could have extraordinary? Why trade off when you could trade up? Why chase your dreams when you could drive them? Find your dream car with L Certified by Lexus. With an unlimited mileage warranty for up to 6 years and a complimentary maintenance plan. Click the banner to discover more. Experience amazing exclusively at your Lexus dealer.
Complimentary maintenance for first 4 scheduled visits. Warranty valid 2 years after expiration of remaining time mileage of 4-year 50,000-mile new vehicle basic warranty.
Save a good deal more with hot deals on Meyer brand must-haves, including new breakfast favorites all season long. Meyer brand syrup, pancake mix, and instant oatmeal are all just $1.79 each. Plus, students will enjoy the well-packed Backpack Good Life with back-to-school supplies for $1 or less, including Meyer brand 24-count crayons, Meyer brand 70-sheet notebooks, and Crayola Classic Colors markers. Shopping for breakfast essentials and back-to-school supplies is a good deal better at Meyer. Exclusions apply. See all deals in the Meyer app.
The area's only all news and talk radio station. That means we're talking about what you're talking about. Miami Valley's morning news continues on WHIO.
Good morning, I'm Larry Hansgen, and big weekend with the Celtic Fest in downtown Dayton tonight, Saturday, and Sunday. Going to be pretty hot, though. 78 degrees right now, 6:09.
9 minutes after 6 o'clock.
I'm Jeremy Radloff.
I'm Brittany Otto. The man killed in a motorcycle crash Wednesday night has been identified.
55-year-old Leonidas Davis was the man ejected from his bike after colliding with a sedan near Hempel Road in Germantown Pike. Cops say bystanders gave Davis first aid, but he ultimately died at the scene.
That's WHIO's Ian James. The sedan driver received minor injuries.
Now, this heat dome that's been cooking the Midwest and South is now spreading east.
We could see some record highs and even record heat indices for an area like Philadelphia and up into New York City, too. I-95 corridor gets stuck under that dome of high pressure, and that means we're looking at dangerous heat indices all up and down the I-95 corridor, Boston, New York, down through Raleigh.
That is Fox Weather's Kiana Lewis.
A familiar story in a familiar location. An area of New Mexico recently hit by deadly flooding is underwater again.
The rescue is happening during the first hours of the event, with more likely to follow as creeks and streams reach their peak. The flooding unleashed by torrential rain also claiming 3 lives, including 2 children in Ruidoso, but there are no reports of missing people. The National Weather Service urging people in flood-prone areas to head to higher ground and call the event a life-threatening situation.
That's Fox's Chris DeMeo.
Now, members of the Biden administration answering questions as part of a House Oversight Committee investigation into the former president's mental acuity and use of an auto pen. Congressman Jim Jordan joins Fox's The Ingram Angle, criticizing Democrats for allegedly concealing the condition of former President Biden.
The left tried to tell us forever that Joe Biden was just fine. I mean, and this is typical of the left. They told us that, Catholics are terrorists. They told us the dossier is real. They told us the laptop wasn't real. And
no inflation. No inflation during
and
Biden.
they tell us Joe Biden's just fine when we could all see it with our own eyes.
And former White House Chief of Staff Ron Klain sat for questioning surrounding the Biden probe yesterday and was praised by lawmakers on both sides of the aisle for being forthcoming about his time in the Biden administration.
This is WHIO Continuing News.
After beating South Bend yesterday in Dayton, the Dragons will continue to play the Cubs at Dayer Ballpark this weekend. The 6-game homestand ends Sunday with an afternoon game before the team hits the road next week. WHIO News Time 611.
And this is Miami Valley's Morning News. I'm Larry Hansgen. Let's take a look at our forecast now. Our 5-day extended outlook, a Dayton Radio exclusive, with Storm Center 7 meteorologist Brittany Ritz.
75 degrees this morning for a low, and it is very muggy. Already feeling like we're in the 80s. 90 this afternoon, feeling like we're closing in on 100 degrees. We're hoping to get some rain. We'll get a good chance throughout the afternoon and evening, very scattered. 73 tomorrow morning, 90 tomorrow afternoon, feeling like 100. More scattered thunderstorms likely, and a few maybe strong. 89 degrees on Sunday, feeling more like 99, with a chance for showers and thunderstorms once again. A little more isolated chance for rain Monday and Tuesday as temperatures are back into the low 90s.
Our live Doppler 7 radar is clear. 75 in Springfield, 77 in Kettering, and 77 at Dayton Severe Weather Station.
This traffic report is sponsored by Grismer Tire and Auto Service. Is your car's AC acting up? Keep cool this summer by visiting your trusted automotive air conditioning repair experts. Breathe a little easier by making an appointment today at grismertire.com.
An update with Will Taylor.
Larry, we're still dealing with a bit of construction that's causing some problems on 75 northbound. This is just past Central Avenue. The left lane is blocked there. We've got about a 10-minute delay. So if you are on 75 northbound, I would get off at Dixie Drive and use the surface streets to re-enter 75 past all that construction. I'm with traffic every 10 minutes. I'm Will Taylor, WHIO, Triple Team Traffic.
And the Reds off yesterday, return home. They'll host Tampa Bay in a weekend series. Beginning tonight, the Guardians' 4-game win streak was snapped by a 4-3 loss to Baltimore. And a disgraced congressman is packing for a trip to prison. We've got that story in 2 minutes. WHIO News Time, 6:13.
Here at WHIO, we really care about traffic. We care